What is up, Bucko Nation? Welcome to Pirates Live 412 for the postgame show. Mason's Pesky, your host. Today we're going to discuss the Pirates' 4-2 defeat at the hands of the Miami Marlins this afternoon here in Pittsburgh. It was a game. Put it at that. No, we weren't blown out. We were not blown out. And I'm not saying we were, because the truth is, the fact of the matter is here, the Pirates did not get blown out in this game. We did not win, but we did not get blown out. That's the truth. But it was kind of a dull game, for sure. So let's talk about it now, shall we? Let's get into things here a little bit. Let's start off with the scoring of this one, then I'll tell you my notes. I can't say for certain because I don't like making promises, because if I break them, I feel really guilty and I don't like it. But I highly doubt I go on any big rants tonight, because it kind of is what it is. All right, let's take a look. The game was played today an hour and 20 minutes earlier than normal at 12:15 p.m. on Peacock. It's Peacock's Sunday lineup. So definitely that was a good thing, though, in a way, because it allowed the Pirates to get this. Most importantly, it allowed the Pirates to get the game in before incoming storms, heavy storms that just hit our area. And it also allowed the Pirates team plane to get off the ground and depart Pittsburgh and head out west to Sacramento for tomorrow, this coming series against the A's, before the storms heavily hit. Let's just see if they took off or not real quick. Oh, that's a flight. Are they in the air? Let's see if they're in the air. Just want to see this real quick. Weird. 3784. Sorry, guys. I just wanted to get. I actually like checking the Pirates team planes, so it's something that interests me. So I just wanted to check it. They are off to Sacramento, so they departed 5:15, which was good because they could get out of here before the storm. So in a way, it was a really good thing for everybody that this game was early. Let's get into this game now, shall we? First off, let's discuss the second inning. What happened? Gilberto Hernandez homered off of Paul Skeens to make it 1-0 Marlins. And that wasn't the only home run he allowed, unfortunately, in the top of the second. Joe Mack, I think that's his name? Joe Mack. Yeah, Joe Mack, the Marlins catcher, hit another home run to make it 2-0 Marlins after the midway through the second. Or after two, it was 2-0 Marlins. Bottom of the fourth, the Pirates showed a little bit of fight back well on a Jake Mangum single to center field. This scores Nicky G, sends Tyler Callahan to second. 2-1 Pirates over the 2-1 Marlins. My bad. I apologize for that. 2-1 Marlins. And then that was it for the scoring for a little while. Skeens managed to go 6 innings. They had Sis come in for the 7th. Then Isaac Matson, I think, to the 8th and all that. Or did he? No. Yeah, Bedois. Bedois came in for the 8th, and then Matson came in to finish it out for the Pirates. But anyway, Bedois unfortunately struggled, allowing a Kyle Sauer single to center field, scoring Hicks and sending Lopez to third. This made it 3-1 Miami. And then another single to center by Xavier Edwards made it, scoring Otto Lopez, made it 4-1 Miami. I did not feel good at all at this point. And then I want to talk about this last home run here for a minute. That was it for Miami for scoring. So Miami's up 4-1 after 8, and they're pretty much done scoring. Bottom of the ninth. Pirates have 2 outs because Horowitz and Lau go down. Brian Reynolds is at the plate against Pete Fairbanks, their closer. Brian Reynolds hits a home run to make it 4-2. And this was not a Chris Paul cuts the lead to 42 moment. I thought that originally at first, but then I realized, like a minute later, that if we had not allowed those runs in the top of the 8th, the Bedois ones, this game would have been tied at 2. We lost this game 4-2. Those runs were the difference. And that's a shame. And that's disappointing. Definitely something that certainly upsets me. Like, that upsets me, for sure. Disappointing. I mean, let's look at it's just concerning. So here's the irony of it. You optioned Boudoir for Antoine Kelly or Matson. I don't know which one. I think it was Antoine Kelly. After the game Thursday against LA. He's not even down in Indianapolis for 24 hours, I think. And then you call him back up with Matson. You option somebody to AAA. He's not even on the minors for 24 hours. And you're going to call him back up and ask him to pitch in a 2-1 game. Make it make sense. You have Matson. You could probably still go to Montgomery. You could probably still go to Johan. Or in a worst case scenario, go to somebody like Santana or Soto. I know Santana has not been good this year. But it would not have got much worse with Santana. You know what you're getting with Boudoir. I love Boudoir, and I like to see it when he succeeds because he's a good player at times. But you know what you're getting. You know the consequences you're signing yourself up for. When I take chances in life, I take them sometimes not knowing the consequences I'm signing up for, and then the consequences just come, and I can't even think of them because nobody can think of them. When Don Kelly puts in Boudoir, or Murphy wants in Boudoir, I think it's more so Kelly than Murphy. He's going to get pardoned here for this. You know what you're walking into. It's just, you know the trap you're walking into, and you still walk into it anyway. I remember, I'm sure, when most kids were little, or I know when I was a kid, little, and I'm sure most parents do this, and most kids remember this from when they were little, but at Christmas time, people have the elf on the shelf. You buy the book, you read it, you give the elf the name, you put it up, and then it moves around every night, and then when the kids wake up during Christmas time, they have to go on a search party every morning to find where the elf is after he went to report to Santa. I will never forget reading that Elf on the Shelf book. And it showed the elf for this girl. It's a fictional elf. It showed this girl, her elf on the shelf. She was skating on a pond. And there was a sign on the pond that says, "Danger. Do not skate on this ice. It is thin." The elf is frowning, and the girl is smiling as she does it. The reason I am bringing this up is because that's almost like what Kelly is doing every single time he goes to the pen and counts on a guy like Boudoir in these situations. Here, let me get that picture. Elf on. That's the issue here. You're skating on thin ice when you go to the bullpen and get some of these guys. It's almost like you're skating on thin ice in general when you pull your starter and you go to the bullpen. Here, let me just do this while I talk. But anyway, that's my point. Let's talk now about my notes for this game I took today. It was tough to see the Marlins earn those 2 early runs for sure. That was certainly disappointing for sure. So yeah, that was disappointing there. You can't leave guys on base like we did. I know off Max Meyer, right after Skeens allowed the 2. In the bottom of the second, we had 2 guys on base, and we let them both on. You can't have that happen if you want to win games. You can't. It looks like there's not this picture, but oh well, you get the point. If you have an elf on the shelf book at home, go and look it up. But anyway, You can't leave guys on base like that. You can't. And that's not the reason we lost, but you can't leave guys on base like that. You just can't. Callahan's really playing great. Yeah, I wrote in pencil today and I can barely read my own writing. But yeah, Callahan is playing great. God bless him. He's done a great job. He had a freaking great week, so good for him. God bless him for sure. But good job by Callahan. Mangum knows how. That's the next one was Mangum knows how to hit. Can't believe all the hate he gets. Yeah, I see him getting some hate on times. It pisses me off to the nth degree because I know what he's capable of and I like him as a player a lot. He plays hard. He truly cares. He has hustle. He is a very gritty player who's truly, if I had to give the Hard Hustle Award to somebody on this team, it would be him. I love the way he plays. He cares, he gives effort, and he's awesome. So I hate all the criticism about him because he's special. So, yeah. Marcy had an incredible play. Can't blame Mangum for that. Yeah, this is back to the Jake Mangum thing. So Mangum hits the ball in the gap. It looks like it's going to get down for a big hit, but then Jacob Marcy, the Marlins center fielder, makes what might be the catch of the year, robs it, and gets the Marlins out of the inning. That is reason B. Reason B, we lost this game. So that's part of it. But you can't blame Mangum for that. It was a good hit. He had great contact, and that could have been trouble for the Marlins. It's just, it didn't get down. That's the thing. So I really like how Mangum's playing. I do. So don't go after Mangum again. Don't. Until he deserves it. But he doesn't. It was a dumb decision for Davis to steal there. I think it was Davis that was in. Yeah, Davis. He stood it down. He was swinging for strike free. That was an easy double play for the Marlins. And that is so problematic. You have Horwitz at the plate. Horwitz swings and misses at strike free. And then the catcher froze, guns down Henry Davis. You get out of the inning. 1 out turns to free. It's an abnormal double play, but still, it's a double play. Is Confluence Chaos permanently gone yet? This is a funny one. So, after the 6th inning, if you've ever been to a Power Game, or if you've been to a Power Game in the past 2 years, after the 6th inning, the Pennsylvania Lottery, I think it is, sponsors a game called Confluence Chaos. And it's a video game. And Joe Klimchak, who's the in-game host, shout out Joe if you're watching, you're the best, you're great, gets these 2 contestants. And they go against each other. And they play a video game. And they drive a boat through the rivers and they try to avoid Kraken and they try to get gold. It's almost like a video. It's a video game and they try to get the most gold, the most stars, the most candy, the most points. And whoever gets the most points at the end of the game wins lottery tickets. This week, it's a new game. It's called Downtown Das. And it's kind of like the same thing. It's kind of like a little race, but it's just in downtown instead of on the free rivers. The reason I bring this up is because they announced, they mentioned the Kraken. Here, speaking of I'm going to put on a hockey game so I can have that on in the background while I talk to you guys, but it'll be on mute, I promise, so you'll still be able to hear me. But the Kraken. Seattle, as you know, Seattle's hockey team, UFC at the White House is on too. Happy birthday, President Trump, as well. I'm not watching it because I don't have Paramount Plus. But anyway, the Kraken, the Seattle Kraken, and it always reminded me of the Mariners, and it always reminded me of the sea and everything in the Mariners. Why do you have to get rid of it the series before they come in? Seriously, I just found that funny. You probably don't even know what this game is, but I just found it funny. Bring it back, retire it for the Mariners series. So, do that. That'd be great. Esteri Ruiz is awful at base running. Yeah, this is the second time in 2 days he's made a bad base running mistake. So, Trillo owned him in base running. He's a good hitter, but he's just been a bad base runner recently. I don't know why. By the way, if any of you guys are West Virginia Mountaineers fans, bottom of the 7th right now, West Virginia is tied with North Carolina. That is a really good baseball team WVU has. They very well could win the whole thing. I wouldn't be surprised at all. But anyway, Ruiz he's just not been the best base runner. That's it. Same that Callahan couldn't come through there. Perfect setup for him also. Tyler Callahan's been so good. But that is just bad. I was just disappointed that he couldn't come through there. And yeah, you got to at least consider that. Because if he comes through there, we're in a really good place. But he didn't. And it is what it is. But you got to come through there. So yeah. Some of these relievers are hideous. Putting in Brandon Boudoir was a blank. I'm not even going to say the word. Decision by Kelly. Should have went to Madsen from the get-go. Yeah, you probably should have. And that's what I just said. Like, we're not going to address this again because I gave my little elf on the shelf or whatever the freak it is talk. And we're not going to talk about that again. Yeah. Also, Boudoir is becoming... I'm not going to even say this because it's probably inappropriate that I do. It's just, when I'm at the games and all that, I take notes heavily. So, yeah. I was looking at the out-of-town scoreboard today. The Mariners were playing the Nationals in Washington. I, for some reason, get, like, crazy over interconference games. Which, I don't know why. For instance, I'm like one that like thinks it's bizarre, and I hate how the NFL sends like say a Bills Cardinals game to Rome, or not to Rome, to London or to Ireland or wherever they're going to send it, rather than a Bills Jets or Bills Dolphins. Like these teams play each other every year, so why not send them over? Bills Cardinals is only played in that stadium in either Phoenix or Buffalo, likely once every 8 years. So why not keep them there for the fans? The thing is, and this is why I bring it up. This is what I want to say. The thing is this. I, for some reason, have a fetish towards interleague games. And so the Mariners were in D.C., and I was following that game on the out-of-town scoreboard. And the Nationals just went off and scored 6 runs. And they won. So I wrote in here, how are the Nationals so good? Yeah, that's just crazy. Shows you what you can do when you conduct search for manager. Yeah. Alrighty. And don't get me wrong. Don Kelly is responsible for a lot of good things. It's just I wish certain things would be different at times. So yeah. Of course, we had to double play. I'm not even going to talk about that because I think it's totally irrelevant. Alrighty, we're nearing the 20-minute mark. I know I talk longer during home games, that's for sure. It's just I take notes and I have a lot to say. I really don't watch much of the road games. I watch highlights of them, but like really don't follow them as much. So probably will be a lot shorter, the shows this coming week. So yeah, excited for the team to get back on the road. That's for sure. It should be a good trip to Sacramento to play the Athletics and to Denver to take on the Colorado Rockies. They'll be home again in 9 days against the Mariners. That should be a good series. But let's focus on Oakland, or the Athletics right now. It's so hard not to say Oakland. Let's focus on the Athletics. Let's get some wins. Let's get this back on track. This homestand wasn't very good, but that's life. It's okay. It matters now how we respond. When you make a mistake in life, your response means more than a mistake. What happens this week out west could determine the year. I do feel like this season is at a breaking point, or not a breaking point, but like an inflection point. This road trip is a big part of it. How we respond means a lot. And we'll start that road trip tomorrow night in Sacramento, 9:40 first pitch against the Athletics. We will have the pregame show for you Monday night. We'll likely have the postgame show for you Tuesday morning. So, yeah, I'll get that for you guys. I can't wait for this trip. Hope you guys enjoy it. I'll get you the coverage for sure during it. That's all I have for you guys tonight, though. Have a good one. Take care. Stay safe out there, especially with the weather in the Pittsburgh area. I know there were storms earlier that have since passed, I think, but just stay safe. And as always, peace and God bless. Don't forget to subscribe. I will see you tomorrow for the pregame show against the Athletics. Good night. God bless. Bye.